Hello friends, the clash between faith and reason remains one of humanity's oldest and most unresolved debates. It raises timeless questions. Why do we exist? How should we live? And what gives life meaning? Over centuries, three great worldviews have offered different answers. Polytheism embraces diversity through many gods. Monotheism seeks unity through one supreme deity, and atheism rejects divine authority altogether. It relies on human reason. Each has shaped civilizations, ethics, and culture in profound ways. Yet, in a world connected by technology and divided by inequality, war, and ecological crisis, the real challenge is to pursue universal good, which should involve which involves peace, justice, equality, and sustainability. Polytheism's pluralism, monotheism's moral cohesion, and atheism's rational humanism all offer partial solutions. But as faith based systems struggle with dogma and exclusivism, it is worth asking, does atheism, with its emphasis on reason and humanity, offer the most relevant path for the 21st century? Polytheism thrived in ancient civilizations from Greece to India. Its greatest strength was pluralism. Many gods meant many truths. As historian Wendy Doniger notes, Hinduism's polytheistic base allowed it to absorb local traditions, fostering tolerance. It nurtured ecological reverence. The Ganga in India or kami spirits in Japan's Shinto illustrate how nature itself became divine. In an era of climate catastrophe, this ethos resonates strongly. Although polytheism's ecological wisdom is invaluable, it falls short as a framework for universal good. It does not offer global moral universals or a shared ethical anchor for humanity. Its tolerance is not universal. It reinforces social hierarchies, such as the caste system in India or slavery in Greece. Furthermore, polytheistic societies often fragment politically. History shows how rivalries between city states or clans were tied to their patron gods. Monotheism provides powerful moral universals. The Ten Commandments, the Sermon on the Mount, and the Quran's injunction that Allah commands justice and the doing of good shaped societies. Figures like Martin Luther King Jr. drew on Christian teachings to demand justice and equality. Monotheism has created strong institutions like churches, mosques, hospitals, and universities, many of which advanced social welfare and learning. The Islamic Golden Age, when scholars preserved and expanded classical knowledge, remains a testament to monotheism's creative energy. Yet, monotheism's emphasis on one true God has too often fostered intolerance. The Crusades, Inquisitions, and modern sectarian conflicts are grim reminders. We see these conflicts now in many parts of West Asia and Western countries. As Voltaire said, those who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities. Monotheism also struggles with modernity. From the Galileo trial to contemporary debates over LGBTQ plus rights, doctrines often lag behind human progress. Patriarchal readings have also entrenched gender inequality, so it is less adaptable in pluralistic secular democracies. Its potential for universal good is constrained by its rigidity. Atheism gained momentum during the Enlightenment and shaped modern democracies. Its greatest strength is rational inquiry. By refusing to accept truths without evidence, atheism laid the foundation for science. Carl Sagan's maxim, and I quote it, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, unquote, captures this ethos. Atheism grounds morality in human welfare, not divine command. Secular democracies such as Sweden, Norway, and Denmark, which are largely atheist, consistently rank highest in equality, happiness, and social trust. These societies demonstrate that ethics rooted in reason and empathy and not theology best serve the universal good. Since it denies divinity, atheism is free of priestly hierarchies or divine intermediaries. Individuals are free to shape their own lives. John Stuart Mill's principle of liberty, that individuals are sovereign over their own bodies and minds, aligns with atheistic humanism. Nevertheless, critics warn that atheism risks moral relativism. Dostoevsky's famous line, "If God is dead, everything is permitted," captures this anxiety. Indeed, 20th century regimes like Stalin's USSR weaponized atheism for authoritarianism. Yet, such examples reflect political ideology more than atheism itself. Secular democracies demonstrate that atheism, when coupled with human rights frameworks, prevents chaos and flourishes. In a world where scientific solutions are critical, from pandemics to climate change, atheism's rational, evidence-based approach is indispensable. It provides a universal language of reason that transcends religious divisions, making it the most relevant worldview for universal good. Polytheism, by its very nature, is plural. The recognition of many gods means that different communities, tribes, or regions can worship their own deities without negating others. This created a spirit of tolerance in many polytheistic societies, such as ancient India, where multiple gods coexisted within the same pantheon. However, polytheism's pluralism is not universal. It tends to be limited to cultural or geographical boundaries. Those outside the system, like foreigners or those who reject all gods, are often excluded. However, Hinduism does accept atheism in its fold. On the other hand, monotheism claims universality because it rests on the idea of one supreme God for all humanity. This allows it to provide powerful moral universals that can, at least in theory, bind diverse people together. Yet, in practice, monotheism has often been intolerant of rivals, branding other faiths as false or heretical. This exclusivist tendency has led to conflicts and persecution throughout history, from the Crusades to modern sectarian violence. Atheism offers a different form of universality. It is grounded in reason and evidence. Its principles are not bound to any culture, ethnicity, or tradition. Rational inquiry is accessible to all humans, making atheism potentially the most inclusive worldview. Its universality lies in the fact that the tools of science and critical thinking apply equally, whether one is in Asia, Europe, or Africa. Polytheistic moral systems are often context specific, tied to local traditions and the authority of specific deities. This has created a rich tapestry of ethical diversity but also unevenness. What is morally acceptable in one culture might be condemned in another, and there is little sense of universal human rights. Monotheism has stronger moral universals. These have created ethical frameworks that transcend local customs and offer a sense of duty toward all human beings. Yet, these universals tend to be rigid in practice. Doctrines are often interpreted inflexibly, leaving little room for adaptation to new social realities such as gender equality or secular governance. Atheism grounds morality not in divine authority but in human welfare. Ethical choices are evaluated by their consequences for human happiness, dignity, and survival. This makes atheism flexible and rational, open to revision when new evidence or social conditions arise. By rooting morality in human needs rather than divine will, atheism offers a pragmatic approach that avoids both relativism and rigidity. Polytheism's reverence for nature remains one of its greatest strengths. By venerating rivers, mountains, forests, and animals, polytheistic traditions embed ecological respect into daily life. Sacred groves in India or Shinto shrines in Japan reflect this nature centered spirituality which resonates deeply in today's age of climate crisis. Monotheism presents a mixed record on ecology. Some strands teach that humanity is entrusted with caring for God's creation. Others interpret dominion over nature as a license for exploitation, contributing to ecological harm. The result is an ambivalent legacy that continues to shape religious attitudes towards the environment. Atheism approaches ecology scientifically. It stresses environmentalism through evidence based understanding of ecosystems, climate changes, and sustainability. While it may lack the spiritual depth of polytheistic traditions, its practical solutions like renewable energy, conservation policies, technological innovations, etc., make it indispensable for addressing global ecological challenges. Polytheistic societies have produced vibrant cultures, rich mythologies, and enduring art, but they often suffer from fragmented governance. In the past, rival city states or clans frequently fought for dominance, and political unity was hard to sustain. Monotheism excels in building powerful institutions like churches, as I said earlier, churches, mosques, universities, hospitals, etc. And these can last for centuries and shape civilizations. Yet, these institutions can turn authoritarian, suppressing dissent and enforcing orthodoxy through coercion. Atheism underpins modern secular democracies. It protects freedoms through constitutions and human rights frameworks. These institutions emphasize checks and balances rather than divine authority. However, atheistic systems are not immune to abuse. When politicized, they can be hijacked by authoritarian ideologies as seen in the 20th century under Mao and Stalin. India embodies all three great traditions Hindu polytheism, Islamic and Christian monotheism, and a growing current of secular and atheist thought. Gandhiji himself combined Hindu pluralism with monotheistic ethics to shape his philosophy of non-violence. But the rise of sectarianism today shows how fragile pluralism becomes when intolerance grows. In contrast, Scandinavia offers a secular and largely atheist model where reason based governance has built societies marked by equality, happiness, and prosperity. The Middle East, dominated by monotheism, shows the opposite. While faith can unite, its exclusiveness often fuels long conflicts. The 21st century's global challenges like climate change, inequality, and technological disruptions demand cooperation that transcends religious boundaries. Polytheism is too localized and monotheism is too divisive to unite humanity. Atheism, grounded in reason, evidence, and respect for human dignity, provides a universal foundation. Science and logic are languages everyone can share, and evidence based governance can guide fair solutions to shared problems. Atheism does not reject culture or spirituality but replaces divine rivalries with human responsibilities. It calls for an ethic centered on truth, compassion, and rational cooperation. In an interconnected world, the future of universal good rests not on gods but on humanity's capacity for reason, empathy, and collective action. In case you have liked my video, please do like, subscribe, comment, and share. Thank you.